Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Art of Testing. I am Rohit Agrawal and today I have come along with yet another video in our segment Inspirational Success Stories. In this video, we'll get to know some answers which toggle and which click the mind of every QA resource. The first question is, will I be able to join Amazon if I have completed my BTech from a normal tier 4 college? Will I be able to become an SDET at Amazon if I've started my career as a manual QA resource? Will I be able to become an SDET at Amazon if I start my career from a normal company? The most vital question that hit us is, will I be able to get that 6-digit figure in my salary per month if I start my career as a manual QA resource? And to help us answer these questions, we have with us Mr. Abhinav Agrawal, who is working as an SDET2 at Amazon since last 5 years. He started his career as a manual QA resource and he got transitioned into Amazon as an SDET, who is completely into automation. Hi Abhinav, welcome to our channel Art of Testing.
Hi Rohit, thanks for having me here.
So to start with Abhinav, would you like to tell our viewers about your current role, your company, and how you are doing it?
Right, so I'm working with Amazon since 2017. I started my career as a QA2, and then later in 2020 I got transition in SDET2. The SDET2 roles and responsibilities like framework development, tools development, helping team with the technical issues, being setting up the environment, coming up the frameworks. So it's mostly an SD kind of role where you are expected to perform like an SD, but it's into testing domain.
Great. So to our viewers, so as you heard from Abhinav, he started as a manual QA resource, a simple manual retester, software test engineer, and he got transitioned into SDET. And SDET profile is very much similar to an SDE, a software developer's profile at Amazon, that you also have to have the testing skill set with you. Now we will also understand from Abhinav on how he prepared to get transition from manual to automation. But before that, let's get on to a very much required question which people are very much focused upon is, like, would you like to tell us from which college did you do your BE or BTech? And was it some elite college at par with IITs or NITs?
Right, right. So definitely it wasn't light college like NITs or IITs. So my college was, you can understand, my batch we call second batch, which is coming out of it in 2011, and it was a very fresh college that has opened in Palwal district of Haryana, and its name is Advanced Institute of Technology and Management. It's, maybe you can say, I'm not sure about the tiering thing, but you can say probably it's a tier 3 or tier 4 college, which helped me in getting this here as like what I'm today.
So basically, it was all your hard work and your learnings from your college, and then how you passed out, and then the work that you did that helped you gain to a position that you are right now. And like our viewers would have understood, it's not a very elite college or someone who is from IIT or NIT. Now, coming to our third question, which was your first company and what was your designation and role? Was it into automation, manual, or how is it?
Right. So I started my career with a product-based company in Bangalore called Subex, and then that I joined in 2011. I started there as a trainee testing engineer in configuration, right? And then initially I started working on manual things, and then slowly I tuned myself in the automation as well. So that's where I, started working to manual and bit of automation there as well.
Okay. What was your dream company and designation when you would have started your professional journey? Just fresh out from college. So, what was your dream that, yes, one day I'll join this company and this is something that I would like to do in that company?
Right. To be honest, Amazon was not the only dream company that I wanted to join, but it was, many of them, right? I wanted to join. Everybody has, at that point of time, everybody wanted to join Google, and Amazon was recently into the market, and people was also looking if they can join Facebook. But nonetheless, Subex, the package that Subex has offered me, right, at that point of time was nothing less than a dream for me, right? coming from a type 4 college, I wasn't expecting like any package which is like around 4.5 lakhs at that point of time. Is like was considered as a very good package. So I can say at that point of time, while I could not get into my dream company, but the opportunity that was given to me was nothing less than a dream for me.
So basically, when you started your career, your annual package was a six-digit package. So at that point of time, ever thought that one day in your career you will get six digits salary per month to be credited into your account?
And to be honest, no, I wasn't. I wasn't expecting that. With the help of God, or with the help of right mentors and of friends like you, during the journey, I would have come to this come to this place called Amazon. I think at that point of time, it was difficult to imagine that we would be part of Amazon and getting this much revenue, right? So, to be honest, it wasn't. It wasn't. I wasn't expecting that it would be part of something like this, something big like this.
Great. So, to our viewers, do stay tuned to this section because we'll slowly come to understand from Abhinav as how he prepared himself to get to Amazon and then convert himself from manual to automation resource. So, this will help you understand and make you prepare well for companies like Amazon and to prepare for interviews of an SDET. Now, Abhinav, coming to our next question. So, did you believe that you will make your dream company one day?
Yes, definitely right. From the day one, I was working. I was working whether the result will come or not there, but I was working in a direction wherever in someday I would got into a company like Amazon, right? And for that reason, the since when I got into Subex, I started working more into automation, right? So when I joined Make My Trip, they also worked on some automation related opportunity like website automation on the services. And then when I joined into Ola, I joined as a purely an automation engineer, and there I got the opportunity to work on IS automation. There where my automation opportunities or my skills loomed a bit, right? So from the day one, I would say everyone, right? People should not target the company, but they should target the skills that they want to achieve, right? Probably Amazon is today a very good company. There are other good companies as well which they can join, right?
So it completely depends on a person's attitude, the dream that he has in mind, and how he works to achieve that dream. And that is
Right. I would say right. I would say you should dream about the company, but let's not stuck yourself into a company that I would want to join Amazon or say Facebook. I'm not saying Amazon is bad. Amazon is definitely good. That's why I'm here for 5 years and I want to stay here as long as I can, right? But do not stuck yourself to a company, but tie yourself to a goal that you want to achieve, right? Tie yourself to skills that you want to achieve. Tie yourself to personal goals that you want to achieve, right? So maybe Amazon is good. There are other companies like Google is also good, Facebook is also good, Netflix is also good. There are other Indian companies as well as right, which are doing good in their domain. They're paying good salaries. Their work culture is good. So let's not stuck yourself to a company,
yeah,
stuck to a goal, to a skill.
that's a very valid point, Abhinav, that it's always imperative and important that you always eye for things and the skills that you are looking for that will take you to mountains. And then good companies will always follow if you have those skill sets with you.
Definitely.
So, Abhinav, tell us about your journey, how you started as a manual tester and moved to become, first of all, to join Amazon as a QAE, and then you became SDET at Amazon, and that too at SDET 2 level.
Right. So I joined Amazon in 2017, right? And then I joined in Bangalore as a QA too. There I got the opportunity to work on both manual as well as automation, right? And with that in mind, right, I worked with my manager. To be honest, right, Amazon is a very good company, right? You joined as a QA too, you can become TPM, you can become SE2, you can become data scientist, whatever you want. It is just that you have to set path or expectations with your managers. You and your manager will collaboratively work to convert into the role that you wanted, right? And for that you also need to prove yourself, right? So when I joined, right, QA2, I worked for QA2 like 2 years, and then I worked with the manager, say I wanted to convert into an SD2. So we both defined the goals that are there for an SD2. We worked on it, I proved on it, and then we got it, reviewed by other stakeholders. That's how I get converted into an SD2. So Amazon is a very good company to try your new skill set, right? For you can become anything that you want to do. You can move into data science, you can move into SD, you can move into TPM role, right? Even that, for that matter. It is just that you have to work collaborate, collaboratively, and you have to prove yourself that I can do it. Please give me the opportunities, and you will get the opportunities.
So basically, from a manual QA resource to become an automation engineer or automation tester, what are the skill sets that are needed? How a person who is a manual QA at present can
Hmm.
achieve those skill sets? What are the platforms through which he can prepare and hone his skills so that he is a capable automation resource from a manual tester?
As far as Amazon concerned, right? In Amazon, SDET is compared like an SDT in terms of technical competencies, right? You have to be good in coding, you have to be good in algorithms, you have to be good in problem solving, you have to be good in data structures. And the competency level is same as an SD2 in Amazon, right? So you have to raise your bar in technically. Be it by you develop some framework, you develop some tools, you develop some some reports that makes the tester's life easy or the developer's life easy. That's how you get converted into an SDET2.
So, Abhinav, our viewers would be mostly interested to understand. So, if they have to prepare for an interview at Amazon, so first let's talk about a manual QAE2 or QAE1 interview. So, if a quality
Right.
assurance engineer's profile, someone has to prepare for that interview, how to prepare for that interview?
Let me start with what kind of rounds would be there if somebody wants to join as a QA2, right? There would be around 3 to 4 technical rounds, right? The one would be coding, the other would be test plan, test cases, the other would be automation, and then there could be a manager round with the hiring manager, and there could be a one bar result round. As far as auto coding is concerned, you should be, to my understanding, as far as my understanding, while it depends upon the interviewer what his skill set, he would probably be asking based on that. But as for the standards that I have seen across Amazon, if you are able to do lead code medium complexity questions on strings, array, hash maps, algorithms, right? I think that would help you a lot in coding the in solving the coding round, right? And then come the test plans and test cases, right? Be thorough about when you comes to the test plan or test cases, right? I would always suggest when you try to write test cases or test plan, think about the scale at which Amazon operates, right? I have interviewed many candidates; they are able to write functional test cases. For example, if I've given someone a two card, right, test case for add to cart. They would write functional test cases for add to cart. But you are coming for companies like Amazon, which operate not just in India but in multiple geographic, right? We operate at least in 20 to 30 marketplaces, right, across North America, Asia, Africa, and South America as well, right? So when you write test plan or test cases, think about the scale at which Amazon operates. Think about the languages that in which Amazon support. Think about the platform that all the platforms that Amazon support. Think about the other services which are very well integrated within the Amazon website, right? So prepare like this for the test cases and test plan, right? Automation, I would prefer that whatever experience that you would have, right, is to be a thorough understanding of Selenium, TestNG, and APM. Whatever you have worked on, be an expert on that. For example, you may be asked, the sample question. That's not guarantee that kind of. It's just a sample question, right? For example, you may be asked to search for a Samsung mobile, choose the third item from the drop down, and then take it to the payment page, right? So you should have the hands-on experience on the automation, right? Learning just about test ng, what are the annotation methods, what it is used, what is explicit weight and implicit weight. That would help, but that won't guarantee a success. To
So
get a
basically,
success,
So basically, here we'll have to break down this into an SDET profile and a QAE engineers interview rounds. There would be some differences in SDET interview or skill sets, even in automation when you're talking about. Then what would be the QAE engineer, right? So let's just focus on the QAE part now, and then we'll move to SDET round. So it's more clear to the viewers as how to segregate these based on these interview processes.
right, right. So what I was talking about is mostly on a QA grounds, not the estate part, right? So the automation also, like we were talking about the automation, right? In automation, you need to have a hands-on experience. Just the verbal knowledge won't help, right? And every interview in Amazon has to go through your understanding or how do you behave on the leadership principle. Please do read about the 14 leadership principles of Amazon. They are very important. They are followed at each and every step from the time or even before you join the Amazon till the time you spend in Amazon. Right? Please do read about them. Think about the actions that you would have taken in your real life or you would have taken previously while working in other scenarios. Prepare yourself thoroughly on that. You would be asked question on that. Be it HM round, be it the bar raiser round, be it coding automation based kind of questions can come into any point of time. This is mostly I'd say cover the manual QA interview language.
So basically, a QA person who's preparing for QA round. So if he prepares for say easy to medium kind of questions on lead code for Amazon specific company, will that be sufficient, or he has to go to higher level of questions? So what do you suggest for a QA round and an SDET round? What are the levels that person should focus upon?
Right. For QA round, I would say just limit yourself. I would not say limit is probably not a good word. But if you prepare for the medium complexity questions, I can guarantee that increases your chance for a QA interview, passing the QA interview or the coding round to a very good level. Right. You'll feel very confident if you just can solve medium complexity questions on lead code or any other platform which are there in the market. And as far as the dead part is concerned, it's mostly same as SD2 in Amazon. There it is just that one or two rounds which would be different, which would test you on the testing acumen, right? For example, for an SD2, there would be rounds of coding which would be as complex as that of an SD2 rounds. And for SD2, you can find numerous example across Lead Code, Chef, and interview vector and all that platform, right? There are other platform which can give you whatever questions are, so you can refer those and practice them.
Uh,
Right? I think that would help a lot. There would be a question, there would be a round related to algorithm, there would be a round related to the design part as well. That's a very critical part because an SDET is expected to develop tools, scripts, and frameworks. So there would be a design part, right? Coding design would be two critical rounds, and then there would be a testing round as well, which will check you on testing acumen, right? And then apart from that, there would be a hiring manager round, and then bar is which obviously others for exist for QA as well. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that was a more elaborate answer, and it would have helped our viewers understand and segregate the skill sets, the platforms that they should focus upon, and the kind of preparation that they should do to join any product based companies for a QAE or an automation asset profile. So, yeah, thanks a lot for that, Abhinav. So, Abhinav, coming to our next question, any suggestion or feedback to our viewers who are preparing for Amazon's interview? Now, it can be a QA interview, an SDET interview, an SDE, TPM, or a product manager's interview. Any specific suggestion that you would like to give to our viewers?
Right. As I stated earlier, right? Please read thorough about the leadership principles of Amazon because they are followed even before you join Amazon, right? Please do read about them and what is that you would have utilized or you would have faced in your life or in your past experience in a company or in a past project, right? Try to map what you would have done in this particular and don't, fake the answers because the interview will caught you right then and there. And apart from that, I have also seen your video related to how to crack Amazon's QA interview. I think that was very informative and would be very useful to the viewers. I would encourage viewers to, have a look at that video. That would be very useful.
Thanks, Abhinav, for your suggestions. And yeah, the link to that video would also be present in the description of this video as well. Now, Abhinav, coming to your journey, right? So when you started as a manual QA resource, so how did you prepare to move towards automation? What was the approach you took and the things you learned so that if our viewers want to understand that so that they can also progress in that direction?
Right. It's always like if you want to go up, you need to put an extra efforts, right? So while I was doing, manual stuff or manual project, I used to read about the automation as well. I used to, look at the videos. I used to, do search like how to do automation, how to write a very basic code, right? Very basic code, even launching, web page. That was a very good learning from me, right? So I started that from Subex, right? How to, launch Selenium, how to launch a web page, how to click on that, right? So it's like, and then apart from that, I got myself a bit attuned with how Selenium works, and then I asked my manager, right, can I get some work in automation? And he was very kind, and he has given me certain projects on automation. Apart from that, right, I also, sometimes seek my manager if there is an opportunity in development as well, right? So that my automation, not only just automation, my coding skills or the design skills also improved on that. Apart from that, I used to see what's the trend of question that being asked. And then I recently, when I was trying to convert myself into SDET, then I also started reading about the system design. There were a lot of books and tutorials which are there available right outside in the market, and you can go through it. Then I started practicing about data structures, algorithms, and what kind of data structures to use, when to use, right? And that helped me helped me really a lot in transforming from being a manual QA into an SDAT.
Correct. So
I
you
hope.
made a very valid point. So it's not just about the theoretical knowledge, but the application and implementation of that in your day-to-day life that will help you actually gain confidence and skill set into an automation domain.
Right. I'd encourage people to solve on real problems, right? Because that would make your learning more interesting, and you would get to know how your learning can be applied to various places. It's not just important to learn things, but it is also important to learn what to use when, right? And that you only get to know when you work on a real problem.
Correct, correct. That's a very valid point, Abhinav. Thanks for that. So now coming to our next question. So regarding the career opportunities for a QA engineer. So let's divide this into two parts: career opportunities within QA domain and career opportunities outside QA domain. So first, let's understand what are the career opportunities within QA domain.
Right. For a QA, you can become a senior QA, and then you can become team lead, and then you can become a manager, right? That's one ladder if you want to go into people management. The another ladder could be, yeah, you become QA, right? And then, architect QA, and then senior architect QA, and then, right? So I would say at certain point, the career of QA is limited to architect field, right? Then if you talk about the opportunities outside QA, right, you can very well, at least in Amazon, you can get converted yourself into an SDE. You can get converted into yourself as that. You can get converted yourself TPM, or in rare cases, very rare cases, I've seen people getting converted into data science. And once you move into a role like TPM or SDET, there is no stopping point. You can even become a CTO, right? Even I've seen people becoming CEO or a business leader after a certain point of time, right? You become SD, you become senior SD, you're manager, and then senior manager, and then you take on different roles, VP, director, and that depends upon the company. So there is no breaking point, and there is no stopping point once you move SD or TPM kind of roles, I'd say.
Great. So now coming to our last leg of this interview. So Abhinav, now some evergreen questions in the QA world. So let's start with the first one. Is manual testing dying?
I would not say manual testing is dying or it will ever die, because the new things will come up while the automation will follow it.
Great.
Right? For example, now people are doing manual testing in AI. People are doing manual testing in robotics. New fields are coming, so manual testing will never die. It is just that after a certain point of time, that same kind of manual testing would be replaced by automation. But then again, a new opportunity of manual testing will come in place.
Great. So can anybody do testing? Is it possible that anyone can do testing, or it's some skill set that is required for a tester?
I would not say that testing is limited to a particular person who has just done anything. Testing is basically an acumen, right? It's an acumen in which you have to show how can you make a product better. What is that? Are you shipping the same thing which a customer asks? How can you solve the customer problems? Are you really solving the customer problem? Are you increasing the pain, right? So it's basically an acumen which you can develop, while the technical things are like good to have, and after a certain point you need to, but there is no barrier in starting you in testing, right? You can start with a normal testing tester who can just play on mobile and say, boss, okay, this is not working, this can be improved, or this would give much more better experience to the user, right? So you can start into testing, but for growing yourself into a ladder or up the ladder, right, you would need technical expertise. You need to learn about automation, you need to learn about coding.
Great. So in this interview, we have focused a lot on how to move from manual to automation tester. But now let's understand how to become a good tester, be it a manual tester or an automation tester. In generic, how to become a good tester.
Right. There are two things which I learned in my career of 10 years, right? the two things which I'd say to become an automation tester is, first, whenever you test something, right, think about the end-to-end scenario, not just what you are being told to do. For example, you are working on add to cart functionality, right? Add to cart functionality, okay, you tested that functionality, functionally, non-functional, you have tested that, right? Not just that, do also cycle whether the add to cart is actually leading or letting users to create order to Reddit. If you just focus on add to cart and the order is not getting created after the user added, there is no point of you sending a feature, right?
True. Yeah.
The other point is understand the customer very well. See what is our pain points, right? Not just you focus on add to cart. For example, if you are shipping a product, right? If you want your, for example, you want somebody in village of Tamil Nadu wants to use add to cart, right? But you developed an add to cart, but that is in English. But the people in Tamil Nadu or any village, I would not say that people in village don't understand English. I would say that if they know only that particular language, right? So
Mm.
in that case, even if you are sending add to cart, that would not help them.
True. True.
Please understand your customer, right? For example, you are shipping something in Spain, right? You are shipping something in Brazil, right? But if it is only, it is, if your add to cart button is only shown to add to cart, since you do not know your customer well, so there is no point of launching that add to cart, because it won't be used. Customer don't know whether what does this add to cart means to them, right? Understand your customer very well, try understand their pain points, and always think about the end to end scenario, not just the functional part.
Thank you, Abhinav, for your valuable time. To our viewers, I do understand that you will have many more questions than what we have discussed in this session with Abhinav. Please do let us know in the comment section if you would like us to host a live session with Abhinav. We will definitely be working on that provided we get 100 plus likes on this video and 100 plus requests through comment section for us to schedule a session with Abhinav. Please do like this video, subscribe to our channel and share in your circle. Thank you Abhinav for your valuable time and it was pleasure having you on our platform.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for hosting me. I hope I would be able to contribute to your viewers' professional career.
Sure. Thanks a lot.